Welcome back, everybody. Last time we were at the Manzanita mine a few days ago, I got the tractor stuck. But there's another issue. We need to get inside the mine and extract a piece of equipment that got mudded in on this last flood. It's this Yard Max tracked wheelbarrow we affectionately call our Killdozer. It's like a wheelbarrow that has tank tracks on it. Handles about 600 pounds. Yeah, it got flooded in this mine with the mud, and a lot of the water has been pumped out in this picture. But the water level, if you look on the wall, you can see the water level line. So this thing was completely submerged in mud and water for about 2 weeks. Now, time is of the essence in this case. We don't want the engine to rust up or any of the mechanism to go bad. So we got to work and started digging. We dug out the front to the point where we could get the door open, and found just behind the door there were several thousand gallons of water waiting for us. So we had to set up a little sump pump and start pumping this water out. I estimate we had about 3,000 gallons. See the 6-foot ladder leaning against the wall there? That's how deep the mud is. So we pumped out a lot of water. Took several hours. Once we thought we'd gotten all the water out, Robert dug back some more and broke into another pocket of water. Will the fun never end? So we set up our sump pump and pumped about another 2,000 gallons of water. But at least once that was done, we were able to dig back to the Killdozer, start clearing some of the mud. This mud back here was really sloshy and sticky and gooey. It was terrible work. This mud has a lot of organic matter in it and a lot of clay. So it was thick. It was thick, nasty, and stinky. Got back to the Killdozer, took some chain back with me, and chained up the Killdozer. Got it ready to pull out. Sorry I didn't get any footage of the pull. But here's the cable. We wrapped it with rope because I was inside the tunnel, and if the cable snapped, I didn't want to get cut in half too badly. But here's the track marks that the Killdozer left. It went out kicking and screaming. The tracks don't turn because they're just plugged with mud. Not to mention the engine and every other part on it. Of course, my cat was unimpressed. So, not wanting to tear the tracks off, we put a skid plate underneath, hooked it up to the quad, and pulled it down the road to where I could get it onto a trailer. To get it down the road, we had to go down this hill. And it actually fared pretty well. Just getting along, going over rocks and bumps and dips and almost tipping over here. All in all, it worked out well. Well, it worked out. So we got it down to a trailer, and me being anal, needed to line everything up just perfect. Yeah, it looks good. So we'll drop the gate on this and get the Killdozer loaded in. Of course, we Still had to leave it on the skid plate. Going up that cheese grater of a tailgate would have ripped the tracks right off of it. This unit's pretty heavy, so it took a lot of work using the come-along to pull it up into the trailer. Then I ran out of come-along and had to manhandle it. So we got it up to the mill site / workshop, and the first thing we needed to do was to give it a good hose off. Get this mud out of the way so I can start restoring it. I usually don't hose off an engine with a garden hose, but I figured it's been submerged for 2 weeks. What's a garden hose going to do to it? It looks pretty good just being hosed off. Unfortunately, we have some problems with the engine. It doesn't turn over. I'm going to check the oil. Might as well change it while I've got it in the shop. Now the moment of truth or terror. Water. No oil, just water. Oil's floating on top of the water right now. Once the oil starts coming out, we'll know we're running out of water. Oh, jeez. It's so full it's coming out of the dipstick too. So being that the bottom end is full of water, you can pretty much bet the top end is going to have some water in it too. So let's get into this. Might help if I take all the bolts out. And see if the gasket got some water in it, but it's not bad. More moisture. These are the valves. Pop those out, take out the push rods. They got water on them. Oh, jeez, I can hear the water go gloop when I push the valve. Let's try something here.
Oh, let me get back up a little bit. Okay, now go.
Yeah, we got water in it. Lots of water. Did I drop something? I don't think so. It wouldn't have started because the spark plug's wet. That ground it out. But the valves are not rusted. They are wet. Spray those down with WD-40. Cylinder, this here, has lots of water in it. Little, well, no, that's just soot. It's good. No rust. We're going to use WD-40 for what it was intentionally designed. That's to displace water out of this cylinder here. Well, not this cylinder, but cylinders in general, parts in general. Here we go. All right, we'll let that soak. Hopefully that will take out water from the rings, keep them from rusting until we get it started and warmed up, in which case any residual water will boil out. Let's take care of the cylinder head. The carburetor's dripping water. That's a good sign. Or not. And for now, we're going to hose down the valves with WD-40 as well, just to preserve them. Make sure we don't get any rust ups. I put this shit on everything. Okay. That's full of mud. That deserves a hose off. This is how the mud permeates everything. Yuck. It's mountain doo-doo. There we go. That's mud. That might interfere with our electrical system. Oops. This reminds me of when my cow was constipated. Now this is the coil, and it needs to be clean. And of course the flywheel is full of mud too. That might affect the balance of the engine. Once I got it put back together, it ran. Thank God. So I ran it a little bit, warmed up the oil in the transmission and changed that. But yeah, it's working great. Couldn't be happier. Well, I could be happier if it never happened in the first place. I was quite apprehensive when I first bought this machine. It was expensive. Never heard of Yard Max before, but they actually build a pretty damn good machine. My cat is now impressed.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that'll do it for today. Remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe. See ya! Any products mentioned in this video is of my own volition. I am not sponsored by any manufacturer.